what it's doing. It's sitting here
The machine
thinking.
knows what it's doing. You don't know if it's operating.
The machine don't know what it's doing. It's thinking. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new episode of Nonsensical Nonsense. I'm Glick. As always, we got Tony D hanging out. It's Monday, so it's going to be kind of a chill back, relax fit episode. If you're not already, go ahead and check us out on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Nonsensical Nonsense. Don't forget, you guys can always join us every Monday, Tuesday, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Sorry about that. On YouTube and Twitch, you can hang out in the chatter's box, shoot the shit with us, say hello, say how you doing, all that fun jazz. And if you don't want to do that, don't worry. You can listen to us anytime you like on Spotify and everywhere you listen to podcasts at. Again, that's at Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. Just search it. Just Google it. You'll find it. It's not that hard. We got an email as well at nonsensicalnonsenspodcast@gmail.com. And we got a merch store that I need to do some work on at some point as soon as I have time at teespring.com/nonsensical nonsense. My guest. As I said, it is Monday. What is going on, everybody? Tony D.
Well,
What it do?
chilling.
What it do?
Cold
What it be? Fucker.
Cold chilling. Cold chilling.
Cold chilling.
Cold chilling.
Coachella Music Festival.
I said cold chilling.
Burning Man. Woodstock. I'm just going to start rattling off any music festival I can think of. Oh, man. You guys will have to excuse me. I'm all kinds of disheveled. I literally ran in the door like 15 minutes ago from the gym. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to go get a quick workout in. I'm trying to get back into my routine. I don't want to mess that up, so I literally came running in the house, set this up, tried to get everything ready to rock and roll.
Right.
So a little bit, still a little bit disheveled, if you will. So yeah, trying to, man, that is the worst when you are in a routine and then you fall out of that routine. And
That's why I stopped going. I can
Well-
go back in the gym, but to keep that routine is a beast. That's stronger than the workout itself. I admit that. To keep
you're not, you're not wrong. That motivation, which is usually fine if once I get into the routine, the motivation is not even a question. I just because I'm a very routine person as it is. So once I set my routine, I fall into it, and then I just keep rocking and rolling with it, and it's all money. But the moment, like, if I tweak my back or if I get busy doing 900 other things or something like that, the minute I miss,
as a parent,
yeah,
gym comes second. I will admit that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not a whole lot of things that interrupt going to the gym as far as the kids go. But it's when you miss that 2 or 3 days in a row, you start to lose that motivation and that routine, and it's like, all right, I got to force myself. But it seems like every time I get into a good routine, something comes up and I fall out of it again. And I got to force myself through it. And I got to go through all that pain again because, as everybody knows, when you first start going to the gym, shit hurts for the first few days.
So your rhythm will start all the way over, and that sucks.
So that's where I'm at now. My shoulders and stomach are absolutely on fire. I was going to go to the gym yesterday, which is a rarity for me to go to the gym on Sundays, but I got sidetracked, doing stuff around the house, cleaning the house, doing laundry. And then Cash and I were watching SummerSlam. We didn't watch it. We didn't watch it Saturday night, but I told him because he asked about it. I said, "Yeah, it's on Saturday." I said, "But we'll watch it Sunday." So I got laundry. I had 2 loads of laundry I needed to put away. I watched a pretty good movie actually. Jason Statham movie called Wrath of Man.
It's on Amazon. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. One of his
did I watch it on Amazon?
Safe was an excellent movie.
I don't think I've seen
for its time.
I don't think I've seen Safe in it. I don't think I've seen Safe. But surprisingly, for a Jason Statham movie, not many fight scenes.
It got very good reviews.
Oh, it was amazing. It was a fantastic. The cast was insane. Scott Eastwood was in it. Jeffrey Donovan, who was the main character from Burn Notice. Okay. There's another guy.
I know that movie came out when the pandemic first hit. Mm-hmm. So it was one of the bigger movies at the time.
It was a fantastic movie, but you got to pay attention to it because it tells a story, obviously, but it bounces around from from the beginning, tells why he's doing what he's doing, and then kind of backdates itself, and then it comes back to like present time. But it was a fantastic movie. Absolutely amazing movie. There's a bunch of guys in that movie that when you see it, you're like, oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. Right. Type deal. Watched that yesterday. And then after that, Cash and I just chilled out here in my bedroom because the girls were watching TV in the living room or whatever. Boston had to work, but we just kind of hung out in here and watched 3.5 hours of SummerSlam. Not a bad pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. I can't stand Roman Reigns. I think Brock Lesnar is going to retire finally. I say finally.
I didn't realize he had diverticulitis.
Oh yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was years ago. I like this new Brock Lesnar that they've been showing the last few. And I hate that his career's.
You like the beard?
No. He's having fun. He's got a character. He's got a personality. The beard is nice. I mean, it's no Glick beard, but it's nice. But, all these years with Brock Lesnar as a wrestler, and if you're a wrestling fan, if you listen to the show, he's always been serious, and he's never really said much. Now he's having fun. He's laughing. He's cracking jokes. The motherfucker drove a goddamn front-end loader tractor to the ring and was laughing the whole time.
Like a country dude. Yeah. He's trying to be
he
like a new Stone Cold. That's what he like a new Stone Cold.
He is a big old country bumpkin, though.
He is. And he admits
Yeah, he came out with flannel shirt, cowboy hat, driving that tractor to the ring. I was dying, just laughing the whole way. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman looked confused as fuck. I was dying. I was like, hell yeah. But surprisingly, one of the better matches of the entire pay-per-view was Logan Paul and The Miz. Logan Paul looks like he has been wrestling for years. I've got to give him some serious props and some serious credit. He looked amazing.
Okay.
And he pulled a Shane McMahon.
So he came in there looking like he had some experience instead of coming in look like a straight rookie.
Yeah, no, he looked like he'd been doing it for years.
I mean,
he looked great. And he pulled a Shane McMahon and went coast to coast, if you will. He put the Miz through the announcer table, but he would jump from the top ring or the top rope.
Over the top rope.
Yeah, he did a frog splash.
That's an Undertaker move.
But all the way out to the announcer's table. I was like, I know damn well Logan Paul's not about to go fucking from the corner of the ring to the announcer's table. Sure as shit, and he landed it perfect.
Here's the kicker. Shane, that's why I was kind of upset that he's not going to be there, because he did put himself out there, not only to be in the ring, but to get up to be an executive too. He put in all the W.
Oh yeah.
Him and Stephanie did. So they both should be there, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
They both should, because Shane was jumping off the top rope, doing elbow drops, putting himself in harm's way, doing everything. Shane was out there. He needs to be there. He needs to be.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he kind of got ousted in a way, I guess you could say.
Yes.
But I'm curious to see the new direction that WWE is going to go into now.
Of course.
With Vince McMahon stepping down, regardless of
it's outside controversy. Yes, the outside controversy.
Let him. Don't let Stephanie and Triple H run the business. Go deal with what you got to deal with.
And Triple H is new because Shane and Stephanie did have it together. So maybe it is time for a new direction. Okay, cool.
Well, and Triple H has been behind the scene for many years now doing stuff.
Absolutely. He got about 15, 20 years behind the scenes now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably.
Maybe 15. Yeah,
but even before he retired, he was when he was still active wrestler, he was still doing creative shit behind the scenes and stuff like that. So, and he's been running NXT since basically the
about the past 7 years, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was big on NXT and it's worked, so I will give him his credit. It did work.
Oh, NXT is. I actually just recently started watching NXT, and it sucks that I'm late to the game because it's actually a really good program. It's fun to watch. There's some really cool storylines and a lot of these new cats, young guys, and young women coming up that look amazing. And like this next generation or new wave or whatever you want to call it of wrestlers, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do.
It is going to be interesting. I agree. I do agree. So he got something, and he's got everything in play. Big ups to Triple H for that. Because I was like, what is he doing and why is he doing it? But he made sure all the talent came through, and they're not doing anything but carrying on what was being done.
Well, and I think one of the things that we're going to see with WWE that's going to kind of go away is Vince was always big on his stereotypical wrestler was the big, tall, muscle, big jacked up guy.
Yeah.
And nothing. And some of those guys back in the day. I mean, obviously, we all know the Hogans and Ric Flairs and Stings and Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant, King Kong. Those guys like that he loved. Some of them were great, but there was also some that were really fucking sloppy in the ring and hurt a lot of people. Recently,
I think Matt Morgan could have gone a lot farther than he did because Matt Morgan
he could have.
Yeah,
he should. But like Braun Strowman,
Vicious. Ain't this a bitch?
What'd you do?
I bought a new charger with the USB end and it don't fit.
New charger for what?
I bought a travel charger for my phone.
Oh.
I'm taking this back. I'm glad I found out instead of waiting until the last minute.
But
idiocy.
What are you gonna do? It is what it is. But no, I mean, I'm curious to see the new change. Like I said, SummerSlam was cool. It wasn't a terrible pay-per-view. It wasn't. I won't say it was bad. I won't say it was like amazing, but there were some matches that I'm just so sick of the Roman Reigns push.
Reigns has been pushing for a decade. He's been an icon.
Where's Jeff?
It's Monday. Jeff typically don't do the show on Mondays.
Why?
Because he's lazy.
Oh.
You gotta take a shower tonight, bud. Yeah, you can go outside and play. What?
Because he's lazy? Wow.
Yeah, he's lazy. Yeah, he's lazy. Yeah, I said what I said. That was Tony, by the way, that said that, not Click.
Rewind it.
At least when I get done editing, that's what it's going to sound like.
Yeah, rewind it. Yeah, rewind it. Like
the editing master, mix master, Glick over here. Wiki.
But no, Reigns was fighting. I noticed people got championships. They're going through a struggle. And Vince gives them the belt. Reigns had the money, fight that leukemia. Brock had the money, diverticulitis.
Well, he had the diverticulitis when he was in UFC. Yeah, that was way before. And he got over it when he was still in the UFC. It was way before he came back to WWE. And that's what I think I was saying Saturday night when we was kind of talked about it a little bit. When Brock came back to the UFC, his first fight was Alistair Overeem. And Overeem's a big dude, and he's got a really good stand-up game. And Brock's has got it. Brock surprisingly has an amazing stand-up game too, and they were going toe-to-toe. And I think had it not been for that diverticulitis or diverticulitis, and maybe Brock came back a little bit too sooner, I dare to say in a stand-up game, Brock Lesnar would have absolutely pummeled Overeem. But Overeem kicked him in the stomach, as soon as he kicked him, you seen the look on Brock's face that it was just
yes.
It wasn't a cheap shot. It was a clean shot. He wasn't as healthy as he thought it was, and you could tell that kick hurt him real bad. But Brock's one of those names that people are going to get excited for in the WWE. I've always been a fan of him. Heel, good guy, bad guy, whatever you want to call him.
Talking about Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, I've always liked it. Yeah, a big old country boy like me, kind of like Stone Cold. Just
excellent athlete, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete.
Great size. He puts in the work.
And the guy was an absolute monster on the wrestling field. I mean, he had his moments in football, and I don't think he was, necessarily cut out.
He didn't do good in football, yeah.
He had his moments, yeah, but
he went to the Vikings, and Goldberg called him out. Because Goldberg was a football player too, so.
Yeah, but no, he was an absolute monster at Minnesota as a wrestler. I mean, he won championships in collegiate wrestling, like
as a wrestler, yes.
Yeah, no, he was an absolute monster. And
so
his poor daughter, his
college, that was the best thing.
Yeah, his poor daughter looks just like him.
Wow.
Just like him.
Wow.
I think she might be as big as him too. From his, I think it's from his first marriage. The hell, he's been with Sable, WWE Sable for.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot he married
for
her.
Years.
I forgot he married her.
Yeah, they've been together for years. They're still together.
Hey, make it work. What am I gonna say? You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, they got an awesome family. Like I used to follow him on social media, and that's the crazy thing because you see these guys outside of the ring, like Randy Orton. He was on TikTok and stuff like that, and on Instagram and everything, and he's so much different. You see him. You see him having fun with his family and doing TikTok dances with his daughter, and he'll have the family at the house and all that. And there's a TikTok video where one of his nephews RKO'd him out of nowhere into the pool.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Everybody
Randy was standing by the pool saying something, and one of his little nephews came out of nowhere and RKO'd the shit out of him right into the pool.
Savage. No one's gonna get you back.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's cool to be a wrestling fan, and you see these guys in character all the time. Now with social media and stuff like that, yeah, you get to see a little bit different side of them. See them as family men or women, and see them with their friends and acting a fool and all that shit. So there are some wrestlers that I follow on TikTok, and it's like wow, it's totally different. Like Braun Strowman, for instance, always had that big old gruff seriousness, but then he's a goofball. He's just a big country goofball on social media.
They got to be themselves every now and then. To see them out of character can't throw things off. You got to let people be themselves. I agree.
Well, I think that's one of the things that's changed over the years too with wrestling is when you would see the guys back in the day out in public, they still had to portray that character.
Right.
So nowadays, where it's like everybody knows, like, okay, wrestling is what it is, fake, scripted, whatever you want to call it. They're athletes at the end of the day, in my opinion, because
Lawrence Taylor said that these men are athletes. Make no mistake. Lawrence
yeah.
Taylor said that these men are athletes. All of these people, men and women, they're athletes. Said that.
So
he clearly said that. So if you exercise, you train, you condition, you're an athlete.
I exercise, I train, and I condition. As a podcast host, does that make me an athlete?
No.
Huh. That's okay.
Makes you a broadcaster.
Speaking of being the greatest podcast host of all time, being the champ, the real champ, not the champ. I was looking at Amazon yesterday, and I was looking at custom belts, and I was having fun playing with them. I think here the next few weeks, I'm going to make myself a Nonsensical Nonsense custom belt. They're only like $130.
That's the one where you can make up your own one. You got to make a logo.
Yeah. You can upload. Like I can upload our logo, and it would be on the center of it, and then I can put Nonsensical Nonsense across the top and whatever I want on the bottom banner.
You really want to do this for me?
Do I want to do it for you? I'm going to do it for me. You can do it.
I already thought about it.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to show you up too early. Since you're throwing it out there.
You don't have to show me up. You're not going to show me up.
Show you up.
Because at the end of the day, it's my show. And I do every day.
Oh, God.
Now I have all the power. I got buttons.
Oh, God.
When they work, I got buttons. Speaking of buttons, not that this has anything to do with buttons, but we'll change the subject, keep the show rolling. Our guy, Rock Lee, I will try to find the Spotify link because I put the SoundCloud link up and then his silly ass took it down. So now I look like a fool posting a SoundCloud link. But he actually released his new song.
Okay, run it. Sure.
It's on Spotify. Well, it's the one I've been playing.
Yeah.
It's a snippet. No, I was just saying, like, I'm gonna try to get the link off Spotify so I can share it onto our social media.
Follow him on TikTok too, just so he knows.
Yeah, yeah. When I've been playing from TikTok, that new one, he released it on Spotify. I was getting in his ass the other day. Well, I wasn't really getting in his ass. I was just telling him, like, you got to release that song, man. Then we was talking Saturday night. We was actually bullshitting Saturday night to about 1:30, 1:45 in the morning or something like that. We were talking back and forth about the new song and everything like that because he released it Saturday at midnight. And so I'm going to get that out there and share that out there so you guys can go listen to it. You guys can find it. Go show our man Rock Lee some love. He's the one that
dope intro song.
He created the intro song for our show. That was all him. And I'm trying, ladies and gentlemen. Probably been one of my, and I hate to say this, sorry guys if you're listening, but he's probably been one of my favorite guests so far. Probably just because him and I are so close. So I want to get him back on the show, especially with the new song coming out and all that stuff. And he was fun. I mean, all of our guests have been amazing. They've all been fun.
Of course.
And I think they came in expecting. Yeah, I think they came in expecting one thing, and they got something totally different. And they had fun with it. You know, they were expecting the typical. Oh, I'm going to go on this podcast. We're going to do this interview. They're going to ask me the same questions I've been asked a million times.
Exactly.
Now here at Nonsensical Nonsense, we're going to ask you some questions, but we're going to get weird.
Well, I'll try to be intriguing. Leave the weird up to you all.
Oh, no, we can ask questions and all that stuff, but we're still going to have fun. We're still going to do what we do.
Absolutely.
I said that from the get-go. I told Jeff when we started getting into the interview game, I don't want to do the same boring bullshit.
I got when am I going to do my own thing instead of jumping over to everybody else's? I said I got a consistency issue. I can't be every day. I could do once a month with no problem. I could do once a week easy. But even once a week, started getting done. We did that on Haps.
People but I mean, once a week isn't bad though. I mean, there's a lot of podcasts that
I can do something 7 days a week, like I did on Haps.
I'm talking about your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of podcasts that only do a show once a week. We on the other hand are
nail that.
We on the other hand are like addicts, and we have to be on here 3 times a week.
Well, we don't have to. We want to. We gotta help.
No, we want to. You don't have to help me. You don't have to be here.
You need help.
You can take a break. Yeah, I don't need help.
I've taken breaks. I've fallen asleep.
Yeah, trust me, we know. We're talking, and Jeff and I both go.
That was the purest.
Is he asleep?
What I've been going through over the past 6 months. That is the purest sign of what I've been going through over the past 6 months. It just hits.
Yeah.
It just hits. So.
No, Jeff and I were both like, is he asleep? Like, damn, he is asleep. You was out, man. The lights out. Just I was like, hey, let him do his thing. How he fell asleep listening to us, I don't know. But
much as I carry conversations with everybody, as much as I'm online, you see me pass out like that, I'm telling y'all, it just happens.
Oh, yeah.
Do not catch this shit, y'all. Do not.
I got something you can catch. These fucking hands.
Damn your hands.
Damn your hands. He said, damn your hands.
I give you that little thing that's running around the world. Let's see how them hands work now. Let's see how them hands work now.
I don't know, man. I'm an old man. I don't know how all these hands still work.
Man, please. Everybody still got hands no matter how old you are. Once you hit them where it hurts, they're going to go down.
Hey, like Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Man, Tyson did an interview. I watched the clip on TikTok. He said the greatest punishment God can give you is to give you everything that you wanted. That shit hit me so damn hard. I was like, fuck.
Man, I said it before on here, and I'll say it again. This older Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah, he's happier. He's happy.
He's happy, but Jesus Christ, if he does not, when that man talks, I will watch interviews. I was watching an interview about a week or so back. He was on a podcast. I can't remember if it was like a sporting podcast or a boxing podcast, but it was like a 10-minute clip of him talking about life and the choices that you make and the misdirection.
He said he found peace in jail. That was as happy as he was in his life because he didn't own anybody, nothing. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, but the man, I sat there and I listened to that. That was one of the very few times that, usually if I'm watching TV, I'm pissing around, I'm playing games on my phone or, whatever. Or if I'm got YouTube on, I'm cooking or whatever. But I muted the TV. I sat down on the couch and I listened to that man talk for 10 minutes. And the shit that he was saying was so goddamn real.
Knowledge, yes.
And hit so hard. I was like, wow. Mike, and I've said it before on the show, nowadays, you get an opportunity or you come across an interview with Mike Tyson on YouTube, or if you're scrolling through podcasts and there's a podcast with an interview, y'all need to stop what you're doing and listen to this man talk, because he's been through it, he's lived it, he's seen it, he's done it, and now he's speaking 100% truth. He's dropping facts all day. And then
he went Muslim while he was in jail, and I saw a lot of insight from when he was dead, but I see a lot of peace in him now.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I see a whole lot of peace in him now. He's been a character. I think you see that the world loves him. I think you see that because everybody's so interested in talking to him. Not even so much about the fight anymore. They just want to hear him.
When he was younger, when he was a kid and he was boxing and everything, it was like he said in interviews, and nobody was really there for him. They only were there to get what they could get out of him or take from him or whatever. And and it was just like, man, I feel what you're saying, like, and it's crazy because some people have gone through shit and been through shit, and a lot of times when that happens, you feel like you're on an island all by yourself.
Yes.
But to hear somebody like Mike Tyson, who has literally had the entire world in the palm of his hand, he's had everything you could imagine. Money, women, money, women, championships. I mean, he was the man. And to listen to him, talk now, it's like, wow, Even somebody like, and you can listen to actors. There's actors like that. Keanu Reeves is a good one to listen to, or Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Guys like that. It really makes you stop and think and go, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is.
Well, you got to put yourself in his shoes, and you also got to have what he had, but realize the way he got it was being manipulated.
Mm-hmm. No,
and
exactly.
If you understand those two aspects, then you understand a lot of where Mike Tyson was coming from. He got the deals, but they were wearing him out. He did his stand up, and he spoke on how Don King was running him out every day, $8,000 for towels. It was in his contract. He just didn't read it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was a young kid that came from nothing, and then he had everything.
Yes.
And then he was on top of the mountain, and there was nobody that could knock him off that mountain.
Nope, nobody.
I mean, we talked about that old boy that was the leader of the. That's on YouTube. That shit was funny as hell. This boy that thought he was going to become a boxer, he was a gang member, become a boxer. Tyson fucking beat the piss out of him in the ring.
Yeah.
Tyson said, I took that fight the full 10 rounds or whatever just to punish him. I could have beat him in the first round.
Yes.
And then this dude was still talking shit, and the man ran up on Mike Tyson in the streets and tried to rob him. Tyson drug his ass out the store and beat the brakes out of him.
The hell out of him.
Brakes off of him. Like, oh, we in the streets now.
The man's from Brooklyn. You don't mess with that part of Brooklyn.
Yeah. I watched that YouTube video. I was dying. I was like, this man really thought he was going, after he done got his ass beat in the ring on a sanctioned fight, you gonna run up on Tyson in the streets where there ain't no rules and he can do whatever the hell he want to you?
Stupid.
Fucker drug him out into the street where all his boys were.
And beat him dry. Yep.
Fucking wrecked his orbital bone, all kinds of shit. Just fucked him up, man. I was like, there's an old saying, you don't pull on Superman's cape. Well, Mike Tyson, even today, as that kid on that airplane learned.
Man, that was the dumbest. Absolute idiot.
Look, I call a lot of people out. I ain't never calling Tyson that. I'll tell you that right now. Tom Brady, I'm still, where you at, Tom Brady? It's because you're scared. You're scared, Tom Brady. You know who the real champ is. You know who the GOAT is. I'm gonna keep doing it. Eventually, he's gonna acknowledge me.
Doesn't say your name, which means you're not important.
How fucked up would that be? He said after a football game, some reporter's like, Tom, what is your feelings on this nonsensical nonsense guy?
Who? Is that what you're gonna say? Who?
Like, well, he can keep calling me out all he wants. I got bigger things to do. Hey, he said my name. That's all that matters. He acknowledged me.
He has a few more championships before I even know who he is.
Tom Brady fears me.
So just a Ventura changing chasing Vince McMahon for a match.
Yeah. Hashtag Brady. Hashtag Brady fears Glick.
Wow.
Get it trending, everybody.
Wow.
Sad part about it is I really do. I love Tom Brady. I think he's awesome. He's my guy. I'm just fucking with him. Just trying to.
Tom Brady, if you do listen to this, I am a hater, but the support you have received from teammates, I have to end my hate.
Why are you a hater?
Your teammates.
Why are you a hater?
Why? Because I don't like the Patriots first today.
Well, neither do I.
But if your teammates if you got respect and love from teammates, I can't say nothing. That goes for you and Brett Favre. I've never seen anybody talk bad against y'all, but y'all did everything to make sure everybody had it the same way that you did.
He's still doing it. Yeah, he's still doing it in Tampa, man. I was like, Tom Brady could easily have a contract that won't ever a record contract that nobody would ever touch. But he's
I think he's acknowledging the fact that his team carried him to where he is.
Well, you also got to, and I think the great thing about him being in Tampa that he never had in New England, and anybody can try to say I'm wrong in this fact, but I'm not wrong. Tampa's actually trying to get him stars, or they already had stars. New England, he never really had stars. He made superstars.
Well, Tampa already had a team. They just needed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
and
he didn't
Tampa
have to get so many more new athletes as much as all he had to do was work with the core, which is what he is doing, which is what he has done. And then he brought Antonio Brown down there and put that risk out there. He
Yeah, and it actually, I mean, up until Antonio lost his fucking mind and decided to take his clothes off on the field, it was actually paying off. I mean, Antonio Brown was paying off.
Everybody got their shot. Everybody gets their shot on the Brady. He sets it up for everybody to get their shot. That's what quarterbacks do.
Mm-hmm. But as I'm saying, like he had legitimate stars in Tampa when he went to Tampa.
Came out of retirement, barely played the way that he used to, and got a ring.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't calling somebody. I mean, bringing your people up. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Kids, I hear kids.
I'm sending it to one of her friends.
Oh my god! Will you open my curtains back up?
No.
I don't know what it is with you guys and natural
scary.
daylight.
Because it's scary.
Yeah, well, this is my bedroom, so you guys weren't even hardly here today.
I know.
And you still managed to shut my curtains.
Actually, Alexa's in here this morning.
You got an upstairs or downstairs apartment?
Upstairs.
Yeah, open the curtains.
When these kids aren't here, I have all the I love natural light in my house. These kids, I swear to God, they're all fucking vampires. They sit in my living room. I got blackout curtains.
It's because the sun hurts my eyeballs.
They'll sit in my living room.
Why does it hurt your eyeballs?
Why does it hurt your eyeballs? Tony asked.
Because my eyeballs. Yeah.
Because they're her eyeballs. That's your answer. That's not hers. That's your answer,
ladies and gentlemen. That's our generation. That is the generation that's going to take care of us when we get older. And yes, she's going to school to become a nurse. So, us older folks, as you get older and things start to happen, and you may or may not need that to take care of you, I would suggest other methods.
I am a perfect.
Maybe ask one of your kids to put a pillow over your face when you go to sleep. What? Yes, you're not.
You know, I know exactly what.
Hey, Sadie, how you doing, stranger?
You show up to the hospital.
I ain't going to the hospital you work in. I guarantee you that.
I don't think you will be.
I'm gonna go.
Hope not.
I'm gonna. I'll go to Knox County Hospital before I come to the hospital you work at.
I don't think you'll be allowed to come to the hospital I work at.
Wow.
Children's
hospital. Told you.
Well, she wants to. When she gets done with college and everything, she wants to be a travel nurse for a little bit until she's ready to settle down and get married and all that jazz. And then she wants to work at Children's Hospital.
My oldest son's mom, she's doing that now. So
them travel nurses, man,
they're making a killing.
They make stupid money, and they get to. That's a double hazard. What's going on, golf?
Double hazard. Golf Hawk was good. Bathurst is about to tune in a minute, just so you know. He was messing
nice.
Came off of Twitter Spaces with him. That's why.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. He's a nurse. He was a respiratory therapist, and now he's doing travel nursing. Mm-hmm. And he loves it, dude. He's like, dude, I make about the same as I made as a respiratory therapist, but they pay for everything. Yeah, like he was up in, unfortunately, he was stuck up in Minnesota for like a year and some change or some shit like that. But he was like, they paid the whole time I was here, so I had money. He's like, I don't even like. He's like he's not really a sports fan. He kind of enjoys sports and stuff, but he was like, I was going to NBA games, NFL games.
They took care of him.
Baseball games. He was like, because they paid, his rent and all that dumb shit was all taken care of. So, he's like, what's going on, Pops? He was like he would Snapchat me. He's like, guess where I'm at? I said, I have no idea. He's like, I'm watching the Milwaukee Bucks. Why are you watching the Milwaukee Bucks? I got money and time to kill. I was like, all right.
That was about 5 years ago. That was a heyday for them.
Well, I mean,
they should have went to the championship game that year that Andrew Wiggins and Jimmy Butler were there.
Oh yeah,
they should have went to the championship that year. That was supposed to be a Minnesota world champion. I'm about Minnesota and Milwaukee, that whole part of the country. They're supposed to championship run. They were supposed to.
No, I don't care. The experience of getting to go to, NBA. Like I've never been to an NBA game. I want to so bad. I want to go to a
I
Cavs game
went to
so
a
bad.
Hawks game. I don't care what nobody says about the Hawks. Them boys ball.
Oh yeah, it's like the
Them
Cavs. I
boys
mean,
ball.
I would love to go see the Cavs play. I've been to an India. I've never been to a Reds game in Cincinnati. I did go see the Indians and Reds play back in the day when it was. I'm sorry, the Guardians. They were still the Indians, and it was still Jacobs Field. That's how long ago I went to a game. So
I went to Shea Stadium. That's
and King Griffey Jr. was still there with the Reds, and he
unhappy.
fucking he was happy as hell. He made the Indians his bitch that game. I loved it, and I'm sitting there at Jacobs Field amongst all these Indians jerseys and my bright red Ken Griffey Jr. fucking Cincy jersey.
Listen everybody off. I know you were.
Yeah, they were cool. He had like 3 or 4 home runs in that game, and every time the Indians fans around me were high fiving me. They're like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "You guys are getting fucking smoked right now."
They were there for the game. They were just there for the game.
But I've been to a couple Browns games, and they're always fun. And that was back. I mean, the first Browns game I went to, it was the Browns and Bengals. Browns lost in overtime, but at halftime, this is when Josh Cribbs was still there. At halftime, Josh Cribbs had more punt return yards than the entire Cincinnati offense. Josh Cribbs, punt return and kick return yards. He had more yards by himself than the entire Cincinnati offense. And then the second game I went to was with my nephew and my sister, my nephews and my sister, my older sister. And the Browns won that game by a field goal. That was the one time that I was rooting for I wasn't necessarily rooting for the Browns to lose, but I was kind of hoping they would because my nephew's a Panthers fan, and it was the Browns and the Panthers.
Big ups to the Panthers. Big ups to the Panthers.
Why are we big ups to the Panthers?
I like the Panthers.
Oh, I don't have no problem with the Panthers.
I got to see an NFL franchise from its inception, and it is the Carolina Panthers. Yes.
Yeah, that's my nephew's team. So even though I bust his balls and I talk shit, I still root for him every year because that's his team, and I want to see him. I want to see them do well. I can't wait until next month. That's going to be awesome. I cannot wait until we go to that game next month.
Oh, they got a game down there?
Yeah, Cleveland and Carolina are opening the season against each other.
Yeah, preseason starts Thursday.
I know.
I need to watch the draft.
What are you going to watch the replay?
Yeah, I didn't watch it that night. I was too tired. I didn't watch it.
I think it's a little late.
No, I'm not doing a real fantasy team, even though me and Brian talked about doing one.
I need to figure that out. I need to figure out what I'm doing.
See, we've been putting it off. So with me, you, Brian, and Nancy, we're supposed to do that. It's going to be virtual. Like I said, I ain't putting no money up. I ain't got no money to blow nowhere. So I'm going to watch and just try to create something and just go from there. Because all the fantasy leagues, I told everybody I'm not playing this season. I'm not playing nothing. I'm not playing football or basketball.
I want to try to get Jody to play fantasy.
Has she ever done it?
I don't think so. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because we do it. We do it just for fun. I mean, we don't put any money up. I would like to get into a league where I could put money into it. So any of you listeners out there, hit us up, Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast at gmail.com or on any of our social media at Nonsensical Nonsense, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that jazz. Hit me up if you got a pay league and you'll let me get into it.
Just bring
it. What are you talking about? Just bring it. You and Brian come to me for fantasy advice.
I need an NFL.com championship. I got an ESPN. I got a Yahoo. I need an NFL.com championship.
Got a ball.
So I'm looking for somebody who's on NFL.com. I'm just going to do a roster. I'm not throwing any money up. I got too much going on.
Last year, I got so pissed off, man. I lost one game in the regular season. And then all my players went to shit in the playoffs, and I lost.
Jesus.
I lost one goddamn game in the regular season on a fluke, mind you. And then in the playoffs, it was like the guys who had been carrying teams all season long in the fantasy playoffs, they just stopped using them. And I didn't have big names either.
I keep telling everybody.
Yeah, I didn't have big names. My running backs were DeAndre Swift and Cardell Patterson, and they were killing it all season.
Cordarrelle Patterson is a prime pick to me. because he's a dual threat on the offense. He wasn't getting his chance in Chicago. He's going to get it in Atlanta. Debo Samuel just got an extension on his contract.
He just got guaranteed $58 million.
Washington has a fractured foot. Spoiler alert.
There's a lot of injuries right now, if you're paying attention.
Yeah, so, honestly, I don't know about you all, but Wednesday night, I would love.
Speaking of fantasy implications, and I'm a Browns fan, 6 weeks is what the decision was for Deshaun Watson.
That was the original. That was going to be the original punishment.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, Roger, how you doing, man?
That was speculation, but they were talking about 8 games, 12 games, full season.
Originally,
a fine, but there's no fine. 6 games. So, in my opinion, the money they gave you, Deshaun, you better be busting your ass these 6 weeks.
Oh,
getting ready to go, and you better go 10-0 and take us to the goddamn Super Bowl. Otherwise, I'm coming to Cleveland.
There's Raven praise for Deshaun Watson from the team. I was just watching that on PTI a minute ago.
The money they gave him in Super Bowl.
What anybody says, that man is a top-tier quarterback. He is my quarterback of the future.
I know.
And Trey Lance, to me, right now, as far as the top 2 quarterbacks of the future right now.
You're really giving Trey Lance a lot of love.
Excuse me?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but you are really giving Trey Lance a lot of love.
I see something.
There is something special about that kid.
Yes.
It's just like that kid that from Pitt that Pittsburgh drafted this year.
Yeah. But
there's something about that kid.
And Deshaun and Trey are going to be the 2 in my opinion. So all you fantasy football junkies up there, make a note. You can write down my team in case I miss a draft. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm keeping Brady as the vet. My 2 backup QBs are going to be Deshaun Watson and Trey Lance. Brady is going to be my man that's in Pittsburgh. Damn it, I forgot his name.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is my prime running back. My prime wide receivers is going to be CeeDee Lamb. It's going to be Debo Samuels. It's probably going to be
Amari Cooper.
Amari's not 100%.
He don't need to be 100%. He will be when the season starts.
Hold up. You know what? I wrote it down. We talked about it months ago. I got to find that paper.
There are rumors that because there's been a couple injuries in preseason workouts and stuff like that for Cleveland, wide receiver wise.
Yes.
There are rumors. There's a couple free agents out there, but one of the rumors that kind of got me a little bit excited, and I would love to see him do it. Cleveland might potentially be trying to go after Fuller.
Who?
Fuller from Houston.
Will Fuller the 4th?
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know how true it is.
2 seasons ago, I had him and he messed up. I forgot what happened. He got in trouble.
Yeah, but
so if it goes down there, that will work. Yeah, that'll work.
He was there with Deshaun.
My 2 tight ends are going to be Kittle and Pitts. My defense I got to work on.
Kittle
don't get hurt.
Yeah,
No, I take that back. Kelsey doesn't get hurt. It's Kelsey and Kittle. And Pitts.
Don't sleep on Mark Andrews.
I don't sleep on Mark Andrews. He doesn't get the ball enough to me. He doesn't get the ball enough.
Yeah, but you know what he does? You know what he does? When they're down in the red zone, Andrews is dipshit's go-to guy. He's his golden ticket because a lot of teams have figured out Lamar Jackson's going to fucking run 95% of the time.
Of course.
And a lot of teams are eating him alive when he runs. So his go-to.
Chargers, you may take me out, and I understand that. If you have anybody from the Raiders, you may take me out by numbers. I understand that. Denver's looking good as well. Tampa Bay is always going to look good. But defense-wise in the NFL, I'm not sure which defense to pick. I know they had New England and Pittsburgh ranked number 1 at the beginning of the last season. I don't know what they're going to do this season or how it's ranked.
Cleveland. I'm telling you.
Green Bay's defense used to be up there.
Healthy. They stay healthy this year.
Defense should be up there. I am a native of Queens, New York. I am a Jets fan. I can't say nothing. The running back and the wide receivers, both of them were good until they got hurt. Atlanta, stop it. Jackson,
offensively, Atlanta players are great for fantasy football, but as a goddamn team, how is it you could be up 28 points every game and in the fourth quarter blow a 28-point lead and get beat by 21 and get beat by 21?
You've done that more than once, Falcons. I'm down here in your area.
Stay away.
I'm amongst a bunch of you all who talk just as much shit as I do, so I don't want to fucking hear
They have become that's become their reputation. Stay away from Atlanta's defense. Whatever you do, anybody and everybody, stay the hell away from
the way it is. I'm gonna go ahead and help Atlanta out. They get y'all in the second half of the game because the Super Bowl, y'all was kicking ass in the first half of the game. Y'all were
stay away from their defense. Offensive players, take them for days.
Defense,
wide receiver, running back.
It may be the Cowboys for my defense. It may be the Cowboys right now. Kickers.
Defense is, in all honesty, this is something I do, me personally, and I know some other people that do it. Defenses are interchangeable. Look at the matchup. Look at the games. That's what I do. I change my defense.
I'll tell y'all what. I'm going to stick with Arizona defense. Y'all rate me down for Arizona and Dallas defense. Rate me down for that. Now, for a flex, this is where it gets tricky to me. For a flex, you can pick up Mike Evans, Devontae Smith. What's the other Devontae? Devontae Adams. My man on the Raiders, Hunter Renfrow. I like Hunter Renfrow.
I had him last year. Thank God old boy decided to drive 160 miles an hour in Vegas because, boy, did my white receivers pay off. And, yes, I said white because that was the joke last year in our fantasy football league amongst everybody in our league. Look at his white receivers. It was a joke, and the guy who came up with the joke happened to be a black guy, and he was like, "You and your white receivers, you should change your name to Glick's White Receivers," because I had Cooper Kupp, I had
Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I was about to say Cooper Kupp.
I had Cooper Kupp, I had Hunter Renfrow, and I had Adam Thielen, and they were my starters, and they was killing it.
Did Thielen get good numbers last season?
Oh yeah, he had good numbers until the end of the season when we went into the playoffs, and then
he was kicking.
Yeah, because even though Minnesota's got Jefferson and stuff like that, their go-to guy, regardless of anything, for Kirk Cousins was always Thielen. When they needed a big play,
he got hurt that one game and it threw off. So
when they need a big play, it was Thielen. It's kind of like Mark Andrews. They're a safety net. There's certain players that are safety nets. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, no, throughout the game, they might not put out amazing stats and amazing numbers, but when it comes down to the wire and you need that go-to guy, and that's how a lot of times that's how I draft my fantasy league. I don't go after big names. The biggest name that I had on my team last year was probably Cooper Kupp, and because that's my guy, I've drafted him every year since he's been in the league, pretty much.
Let me cut you off. I'd like to present to everybody the original list I made at the end of last season.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go ahead and talk this shit because we got the numbers, we got the opinions, all of that. My original quarterbacks are going to be Brady, Tannehill, and Lance. I did forget about Tannehill. I like Tannehill in Tennessee. I think he's got something.
I can't say anything bad about the only thing about Brady, and here's the thing about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, until he went to Tampa, he was never a fantasy football guy.
Bullshit.
No, bullshit my ass.
And the whole mouth.
Since I started playing fantasy football, Tom Brady was not a big number guy.
Bullshit.
He didn't have to.
I had a league I was in. My homeboy insisted on having Brady. He was always in the top. He insisted on having Brady. Brady wasn't touchdowns, but Brady was yards.
Yeah.
Just being
that's where it kills you. No, that's where it kills you.
I had him the last 2 seasons. His touchdowns was killing the last 2 seasons.
I had what's his name? What's his nuts from fucking L.A. The Chargers. That kid.
Yeah.
I had him the last. Yeah. I actually had him his rookie season because I can't remember who I had, but my quarterback got hurt. Nobody would trade me, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna take Justin Herbert," and then everybody got mad at me because he was killing it.
The Chargers to do what they did. The Chargers were outstanding.
Yeah.
Big ups to the Chargers for not getting no respect. Big ups to the Chargers because they moved y'all. Y'all didn't want to be moved. And your fan base hated it, and y'all are still a major threat in Los Angeles.
Why did they move this
season? It is their turn to get a championship because the Rams got one. Chargers, it is your turn. It is your time, and you have a squad. The Chargers have a squad. Let's be clear.
I'm not disagreeing with you in any way, shape, or form.
I want you to. In your face. Damn you and your belt. I want you.
You are wrong, Tony. The Chargers suck. Fuck the Chargers. They're not going to get a championship. You're out of your mind, Tony. Is that better?
My running backs. This is for everybody out there. I'm going to throw this out there. So if you want to make something, take notes and see how ridiculous I pick, here you go. Brady, Tannehill, and Lance, quarterbacks. Najee Harris and Tony Pollard, running backs. I'm not taking Zeke. Y'all can have Zeke.
I don't have a problem with Pollard.
I don't either, but he doesn't get the ball enough. But he was running him a lot last season. Last season, they did real good with him.
Yeah, Najee, I would be skeptical.
He hasn't broken out yet.
No, he hasn't broken out yet. And here's the thing: I'm not speaking ill of Najee because Najee's a bad dude. But Pittsburgh does not have the offensive line for him to blow up yet.
Same size as old boy in Tennessee.
No, he is. He's a monster. Him
both came from the same college.
Yeah,
give him the damn ball. Now watch it last year. They was on his ass. They was on him as soon as he got the ball. There were 3 people on him last.
Pittsburgh doesn't. That's because Pittsburgh doesn't have an O line. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't sleep on Najee, but be weary of Najee because Pittsburgh doesn't have an O line.
How much time we got? Okay, good.
Yeah, we got
about the O line. They knew he was.
We're talking football tonight. We can do this. Let's talk football.
He was the main offensive threat in Pittsburgh. That's why they were.
Well, yeah, because the other 2 idiots were too busy making TikTok videos dancing. Claypool and Juju.
Wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuels, Hubbard, and Cordarrelle Patterson. Hubbard was.
Who was the last one?
I had CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
Deebo Samuel,
I like that. Yep.
Hubbard and Cordarrelle Patterson.
Oh yeah, Patterson.
Now,
Patterson's a good flex guy.
He probably
he's a. You said you didn't know about a flex guy. Patterson is a solid flex guy. I played him at flex last season.
He's not the only one. He's just on a better team to be utilized. Yeah. Hubbard, I forgot. I think Hubbard was Carolina.
Hubbard. Oh yeah.
I think it's Carolina.
Like Chris Hubbard or something like that. He was in Carolina.
Yeah. Tight ends. I got Kelsey, Gronk, Kittle, and Pitts. Kittle's gonna get hurt. Kelsey normally doesn't. Gronk.
Well, that's the problem with picking. That's the problem with picking 49ers because the 49ers the last few years, I mean, they had to add a hospital onto their stadium because their players can't stay off the IR.
They was hurting themselves out there. Them boys are balling.
They're killing themselves. I like your tight end list. I don't have anything to say. I mean, unless you want me to. Do you want me to say something bad about it? I'm confused. Can I agree with you?
You had Andrews. Keep Andrews in your argument. Come on.
No, I mean Andrews is Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, Kyle Pitts is coming around.
Pitts in that order. Kelsey, Gronk, Kittle, Pitts in that order. Seriously.
I've always and so disrespect towards Gronk because Gronk is the man. I've just always been weary and hesitant on Gronk.
You should be.
But I like Kelsey. Kelsey. Usually when I go tight end wise, it's Andrews, Kelsey, or Kittle. I try to get, and I'll draft him early if I have to. I don't care. People say I'm crazy.
Me neither.
I'll draft them fuckers early.
I would draft it, depending on, and you got to pick more than one because you don't know when the spot's gonna come up.
But there's also a couple sleepers because what's his name in New York for the Giants? No, Andrews not a sleeper. He's always a solid pick. What's his name? Ingram in New York. He's a sleeper. Yeah. Oh shit. Green Bay's tight end.
Okay, let's pull up tight ends.
He's a sleeper.
Get the looking, damn it.
Thank you, baby. You make me blush all the time.
This is Officer. Darren Waller. He's another good one. That's true.
Yeah.
Right now. He's number 3 right now.
Waller, he's in Vegas, right?
Yes. And he should be
good. No, he's solid. Yeah, I was talking to like sleepers that who did I have last year? Oh boy up in Buffalo, Knox.
Yeah, I had
because he has become a security blanket for Josh.
My dynasty. I was watching him in my dynasty league because if you haven't played dynasty football, ladies and gentlemen, you make a roster and you make your changes over the next 4 seasons afterwards. I think that is an outstanding idea. I like it. Knox was a good, yes, I agree with Knox. I forgot about Waller. Dallas got it with the Eagles. Yeah, he just has to get the ball more. Dalton Schultz, absolutely.
Dalton Schultz is
Absolutely.
He's not a solid pick, but he's not a sleeper either. He's like right there in the middle. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not getting the ball enough.
Yeah, but that's the problem, and that's the problem with Dallas and even Knox. Knox isn't getting the ball as much as he probably should.
Y'all,
but he's become a security blanket for Josh Allen
for the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen, because I like to pick before the season starts. During the year, everybody's gonna change their mind. I'm gonna tell you who I forgot about. This is my fault because I made a list and I didn't do a lot of research. Hunter Henry with the New England Patriots is a pick to me. He is.
I had him last year.
Yes, he is definitely a pick to me.
I had him last year, and he saved my ass on a couple occasions.
Tyler Higbee down there with the Rams, I like him. Zach Ertz is with the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm feeling him as a tight end. He's all right as a tight end. I have no disrespect against him. Zero.
Ertz has been solid for years.
Zero disrespect against him.
Here's one key factor that we haven't mentioned. It goes against my better judgment, and it's going to hurt me saying this really bad. Offensive players do not, and let me emphasize that, do not sleep on the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Joey B.
Let's do this for your home squad.
Chase. This is not my home squad.
May the Bengals face no disrespect for losing the Super Bowl because them boys balled.
No.
May they face
Nixon,
no disrespect.
Joey B., Higgins, Chase. Do not sleep on those motherfuckers.
The Rams could not run the ball. They had to throw it. We were watching that game.
They had to throw, and they could only throw to that. They could only throw to that one side where that jackass Eli Apple was. But guess what?
Eli Apple lost with honor. You will not be disrespected for losing that Super Bowl. And I'm going to throw that out there. Damn everybody. The Cincinnati Bengals played excellent football that game. The Rams could not run it. They had to short pass the hell out of them. So they played your secondary out. There's your job. No disrespect to the players that you do have because y'all was doing the damn thing, but they was getting in there. They found the holes.
So fantasy football wise, do not sleep on Cincinnati's offense this year.
Nothing on Cincinnati. Nothing.
They are young. They are talented.
Exactly. And they're hungry.
And they are. And I hate to say this. I absolutely hate saying this. As a Browns fan, because I feel like the Bengals are there. They're there. They're ready to take that AFC North and grab it by the throat.
Y'all better be
the Browns. The Browns are like right fucking there.
The Bengals and the Browns.
And I would love
state rivalry. I think y'all gonna have two of the most high-rated games this season.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy around the both of them right now.
Actually,
and that hasn't happened in decades.
Let me look and see what's going on here.
Now, while you're looking at that, let me tell y'all.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Flex is Renfro, Rondale Moore, who I like that kid. Rondale Moore. Yes, he's on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Roby down there on the Panthers. He used to be with the Jets.
Yep.
Roby Anderson. And Lockett, I think I got written down. Tyler Lockett. Give him.
So Deshaun Watson, 6-game suspension. Well, these are the games he's going to miss. He's going to miss Carolina, fucking Jets in week 2, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, the Chargers will probably get smoked by the Chargers, the Patriots, which the Browns always play really good against the Patriots for some reason, even in their
coach. They know the coach.
Yeah. But Deshaun Watson makes his debut in week 7 against Baltimore. Week 8, just before the bye week. Monday Night Football. Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
That means it was set up just right.
In his second game.
That was set up just right, yes.
And then they go into the bye week, and then Miami, Buffalo, Tampa Bay. Oof. Actually, I think I'm going to try to go to that Tampa Bay game because it's in Cleveland. because I've never got to see Tom Brady play in the NFL. I've seen him play in college, never in the NFL.
This is going to be honestly.
And then we get Houston.
Stomp. That's a stomp.
We got Houston this year.
He's going to destroy them.
And then Cincy and Baltimore. We get New Orleans, Washington, the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. I got my kickers. I'm going to take the Kansas City kicker, the Tampa Bay kicker, and the Buffalo kicker. Those are my first 3 picks. There's points on that.
Yeah. Don't sleep on old boy from Atlanta. I'll be right back.
You're good. As far as defense, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take the Washington Commanders defense and the Dallas defense. These are my primary picks at the end of the Super Bowl. Of course, we're going to make changes. Preseason starts this Thursday. Adjust your rosters accordingly. Make your picks accordingly. Should be myself, Brian, Glick, and Nancy. We want to try to do a little virtual fantasy league with us. I'm not going to throw any money out there. Everybody just pick your rosters and let's just see how it goes. I have given you my primary picks. I say we pick a league.
Actually,
we pick I want to go NFL.com on a free league and see how it goes. I don't care so much about a lot of the standards or whatever. I would just say open up all of the platforms to any and every aspect of points and just go from there with your picks. I don't necessarily need to be a defensive league or this type or that type. Just go with a regular damn league, put the team together and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready when y'all are. Now we can make our adjustments quickly. Trust me, I would love to sit up here one night and just watch the whole damn draft. I might do it tomorrow night. I might rewatch the NFL draft, look at a bunch of these teams and these rosters again, and readjust what I have. But my original picks, I just gave everybody up in here. I say let's do it.
I'm not mad at your. I'm not mad at your.
It's a championship pick, but you don't know who's going to win championship no more.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, exactly. Like I said, I lost one game on a fluke last season, and but here's my question to you, Tony. What's your contingency plan? Because you've got a lot of picks that a lot of people are going to be going after.
Yeah, you got to go afterwards, and those are like I gave you who I would pick up front, and even after the drops. I would have to look afterwards. Normally, after the drops, you go for the rankings. I don't. I kind of go with. I used to go with who I liked. And me being a Jets fan was to get my ass whipped. Because being honest, the Jets have a good defense. They just
don't ever. That's what honestly. That's what kills people in fantasy football.
Picking who you like. Yes.
When they're a homer. When they're a homer.
I got told that. Yes.
I try to stay away from the Cleveland Browns. Now,
this
obviously,
season I wouldn't. This season I wouldn't.
No. Like obviously, like I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to snag Deshaun Watson.
You better.
And I'm going to put him on the bench.
Damn right. That's a given.
Like I wouldn't mind. I didn't have Chubb last year, but I had Hunt last year.
Did Hunt do anything?
I didn't play him. I used him for a bye week running back. Like I said, my running backs last year were Patterson and Swift.
Right.
I had Henry, but we all know how that worked out.
Yeah. What's Henry? Yeah. So
Hunt was Kareem Hunt was a bye week guy, and depending upon
the roster, he was third. I know he wanted to get moved up. I was wondering if he was going to get traded this season.
Kareem Hunt was number 2 on the roster.
Was he number 2?
Yeah.
Because it was Chubb and Mixon, I thought. No, Mixon's on the Bengals. Yeah,
it was Chubb and Hunt are the 1 and 2 punch. But depending upon the matchup, I put Kareem Hunt in as flex. But yeah, he put up good numbers because Hunt's one of those guys that not only is he dangerous out of the backfield, but he runs routes really well.
Oh yeah, he's a dual threat.
Yeah, like Patterson.
Yeah.
So
Patterson goes down as a wide receiver as well.
Mm-hmm.
Patterson does go down as a wide receiver as well. So why did I set my alarm for 8 o'clock today?
I honestly I haven't even begun to think about my fantasy roster this year because, like I said, I'm a little bit different than most, and I think that's what irritates people when they play fantasy football against me because they'll come into it. Well, they'll come into a game with all these fucking superstars and get smoked by sleepers.
Because they don't look at the sleepers. They're playing numbers. They're playing stats.
You can't play numbers and stats. Yeah.
And honestly, I would tell everybody, you have to watch the game.
Hey, come here. Cash, come here.
Yeah.
Put that his way. Grab me some more, please.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud. I don't know what that was that you just came in here. No, I love the sleepers. I'll try to get a couple. Like I told everybody in our league last year, I had the number 1 pick, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to take Christian McCaffrey?" No, I'm not. I was like, "No, the fuck, I'm not."
He's not 100. And then when he was 100, he came back and he took him out. Told Brian,
Motherfucker's Mr. Glass.
No, he's not Mr. Glass. He got injured, but he ran his ass off.
Yeah, he's Mr. Glass.
No, he's not Glass.
I had him 2 years ago, and he completely fucked me.
He got hurt.
So I said, I'm staying away from him. I'm not taking Christian McCaffrey, and I didn't take him number 1. And everybody in our league were like, "You're a fucking idiot. You're stupid." Da, 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 da.
Fuck you.
Meanwhile, I lost 1 time in the regular season, and I was wrecking my opponents. Like,
you know what?
It wasn't even close.
Me and Brian came up with the idea. You know how to create leagues, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got NFL.
I say do it on NFL.com.
I have actually. I was just looking at it. I got to try to figure out. I got to try to.
We need open
NFL. Yeah, I have NFL fantasy, and I have ESPN fantasy. What is that? Oh, that's my FanDuel. Yeah, I have NFL fantasy and ESPN. I like NFL fantasy, or which one was it that I liked better? I gotta remember how to log into them. I'll log into them later, but there was one of them that I liked better than the other. And then I do a snake draft. So, you know, the only unfortunate thing, and I wish I could change this somehow, some ways, whoever creates the league gets the number 1 pick.
I'm not so much worried about that because I know who I want.
But I do run a snake draft, so you know it goes 1 through however many people. If you got 10 people, and the 10, you know, it goes 1 through 10, and then that 10th person gets the first pick in the second round, and then it goes back up. So it kind of makes it a little bit fair. But I really did. I tried to look for something to where you could do like a random pick or a lottery or whatever it was, so that I didn't end up with the number 1 pick. But again, the way I draft, I'm not picking who you think I'm going to fucking pick number 1 overall.
Maybe I'll set it up for Thursday night. We need to set. What's up, Amanda? I said we need to set everything up, and I know it's 4 of us off the rip. I forgot if anybody else wanted to join.
Let me know. I mean, we can run the. We can, you know, if you guys wanted to do the fantasy.
It's me, you, Brian, and Nancy up front. Somebody else wanted to jump in. I forgot who it was.
Like I said, if you guys wanted to do the fantasy show, we can do it right here on StreamYard.
Of course. We do a StreamYard. I got all of them set up. We ready.
Yeah.
We ready. Hell, I could damn near use vocal because I ain't going to be playing no music.
Well, as far as I go, what I have StreamYard. So if I'm going to be a part of the fantasy,
I got Restream. I got all of them. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'll be a.
Brian's got a work schedule though. He's pulling his hours, so I know he's going to be a minute.
Well, we can do it on Sundays too. I mean,
I normally got Jason.
You always have Jason.
You're right.
As I said, we always have our kids.
And then Smoke's got his show Sunday night, so we're going to set it early.
Do it Sunday morning, like, or you know, do it before the kickoff and stuff like that.
Yeah, afternoon or something, unless I'm working.
Yeah,
definitely. I think Thursday's going to be dope. I know a bunch of us are going to be watching the game. I think it would be good if we did a broadcast and set that up. I might do that.
We do it on Thursday or something like that. I mean,
yes, we do mean fantasy football, Amanda. We're trying to set up a free league. I would honestly invite you as being one of the creators because it's my idea, along with Brian, and Glick's gonna have to be a fucking guest.
Well, it's not actually 100% your idea. It was the podcast portion was my idea, the fantasy meltdown, but I wanted it to be your and Brian's shows, and I would just be a co-host.
Brian brought it up and said we was going to bring you on.
Well, that was before you never said anything.
You didn't even call Brian. You didn't even
call Brian, but you guys never said anything to me until after I brought up the fact that I wanted to do a fantasy football show under the Nonsensical Nonsense umbrella, and I wanted you guys to
Nonsensical umbrella. This is true.
Yeah, and I wanted you guys. That's why I said I was
get an exclusive.
Yeah. And that was going to be, that was going to be the fantasy. Yeah, that was going to be the fantasy meltdown I did not want to host it. I wanted to come in as the co-host.
Brian.
What you
This
stop?
damn Glick is trying to steal our fantasy football shine. How dare he?
I'm not trying to steal your fantasy football shine. I specifically said you did not say anything to me until I brought it up to you, and I asked you, would you and Brian be interested in hosting a fantasy football podcast on here, on this StreamYard, under the Nonsensical Nonsense umbrella, and it'd be called Fantasy Meltdown?
It was also going to be called Nonsense Fantasy Meltdown. This is true.
No, it was just going to be Fantasy Meltdown, and it was going to be your guys' show. I was going to be a co-host. When I made it, I said I wouldn't be on every show, but I could give you the login information to StreamYard. I still need to do that, so you have all the.
Hey, Brian, do you hear this?
So, and then when I said that, you said.
I'm talking to you. Hold on. Go ahead, Brian. Say it.
Hey, redneck Gandalf. Like, when do you want to do it? When do you want to set it up?
We're talking about it now on the podcast. You still at work?
Yeah, I'm still at work.
How long are you going to be?
Bum ass.
7:30 latest.
Okay, because we're already hour 15 in. I will tell you jump in on the chat if you can, but if you're busy, I'm not going to do that. But we are talking about setting it up. I want to rewatch the draft because I didn't pay enough attention to it. Him and I, shut up.
In the middle of our show.
Him and I have been sitting here discussing rosters and players, and the preseason is Thursday. So what I'm thinking is Thursday night we do a broadcast.
So am I going to get yelled at for setting up the fantasy football league that you just asked me to set up?
Can I get a word in? Under the Nonsensical Nonsense umbrella, Ella, Hey.
Under my
we got to get Nancy. I want the four of us up there, definitely. I forgot who else said they wanted to be in the league. Do you remember?
Let's see. It was going to be Nancy, you and I.
Glick.
Ted.
Glick and Ted. Okay, so that's 5.
Yes. So we got to go and get more people. So we get more people in the league. You understand?
I think we need to get more people. Yes.
Well, you got to be careful about, like, if you're going to do a podcast, you can have people in the league, but you don't necessarily have to have more people on the show.
You understand? I'm failing.
Yeah, you are. Amanda, we do this. I'm so serious. Amanda says, Amanda, are you interested in playing as well? We're doing a free league. I'm not putting no money down. I ain't got no money this year. I'm doing a free league. It's gonna be smack talk stats.
I ain't got no money either.
Pussies.
I'm even working overtime and I'm getting the money.
Dude, I got to work overtime.
Fuckers aren't even on my level. You don't deserve to be in a fantasy league.
Oh yeah, you and I are on the same page.
So we got 5 people so far. I have my original roster that I had set from the Super Bowl, so I'll be making adjustments according to that. I just read it out on the podcast. If anybody wants to take notes,
I gotta look at the.
Amanda's in. Amanda's number 6.
I gotta look at my Bleacher Report and everything else because, like, a lot of the trades, some of them do make sense, but I know I got one team that I'm looking at that's gonna probably do it for me. So.
Doesn't matter. You guys are gonna get
fucked. Flick is over there smirking and scraping his eyes like we ain't shit. Fuck him and his beard. Oh hell!
You guys literally come to me for fantasy advice.
Just do this. Just get a stick and go. You shall not pass.
Both of you come to me for fantasy advice.
He came to you because Brown was a rookie. I don't need your fucking advice.
Both of you came to me for fantasy advice.
I got my 2 championships before I knew you, son. I know what I'm doing. All right.
Only 2.
I'm 2-37. Leave me alone.
Damn. Ouch.
So I don't know who can set up the spreadsheet. Who can set up I want to do it on NFL.com, Brian. Do you have a problem with that? Only because I got an ESPN trophy and I got a Yahoo trophy over here.
I have like an ESPN and I got some other one. I don't remember. I gotta call my friend Patrick, but ESPN, that's mainly the main one I mainly pay attention to.
Check the arrest list. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Now, Amanda, she said there's a new list of players on the penalty too. List. I kind of leave that alone because as much as we need to pay attention to it, when you do the draft, they're going to show you what they got going on, whether they're available or not. She's not wrong in that. What's that? I got ESPN, I got Yahoo. I'm looking at NFL.com. I'm also looking at CBS Sports. I know they'll have one too.
Well, I will set one up, and if you guys want to do a fantasy football meltdown under this umbrella with
I
this.
ain't got a problem doing it. Yeah, we're gonna do it in your umbrella. We just
do that.
We'll say that.
And then you guys want to do something outside of that, because I know you guys talked about something else, but like I said, you didn't say anything about that.
We didn't have a platform set, so under your umbrella is not an issue. We did not have a platform set, so you got the umbrella. He and I was trying to put it together. We got to make sure everybody.
I'll post it on Spotify and all that shit. I'll do like I did this shit.
Amanda, if you want to be available for real, save Thursday night. I'm gonna aim for 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. If that's good with you, Glick.
Yeah, watch it. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but
8 o'clock Thursday night.
like I said, just be weary of just be weary of if you start trying to bring too many people on board at the same time.
We only had 6. This is nothing. I've been in there with 10 people.
No. I mean, no. Well, yeah, a league. But I'm talking about when you do the podcast. The podcast should be the core. You know, like you and Brian, and like 3 people, maybe 4 people with Ted. But if you start bringing too many people onto a show,
and StreamYard can hold how many?
10.
So we good. We talking.
But if you start bringing too many after 4, it gets a little crazy and it gets a little.
Only motherfuckers can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've been in broadcasts with you and Brian before.
I've been in broadcasts with you. You don't shut up here. That's my point.
Yeah. I'm the fucking host of this goddamn show.
If you don't host that, you gotta shut the fuck up.
I do shut the fuck up. I've shut the fuck up the last week, and you and Jeff have put this goddamn podcast on life support.
We're carrying.
He just jibber jabber.
Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up.
Like I said, I may not be in every show. I may be in, but I'm not taking the host role. And that's why I told you from Jump Street.
We were doing Sunday morning podcast before the
game
start. We would do a broadcast. I'm gonna try to get back to that, but I know his work schedule is different.
And then on Saturday night, I guess after y'all's little tit for tat, I mean, we could do like a
I kind of want to suggest it goes into the Saturday night show if Glick doesn't mind. I know he has his formats and everything, but we can kind of throw it in on the show.
Yeah, I'll have like more time on Saturday.
Yeah, if you got more time on Saturday, cool. What do you think, Glick?
Well, actually, and we'll talk about this off the show.
Sure.
I'm thinking about. Shut up, Brian. Nobody asked you. Fucking
Texan. Excuses.
I'm not giving excuses. No, actually, I'm going to bring this up off the show. I'm thinking about changing up our schedule and our format a little bit on the show on Saturdays. But we'll talk about it off the show.
Sure, no problem. But definitely, I think football season's coming up. I know it's a big. So, and I think that will definitely bring an audience if you incorporated it into the show.
And like I said, the fantasy football or the fantasy meltdown that I wanted you two to do. Like, you guys can still do whatever you want to do, on wherever.
No, you was one of the original members.
Yeah. I told you from the Jump Street, I may not make every single show. I'm not the host. This is not my show. This is you and Brian's show. I'm going to come in as a co-host, as an expert, if you will.
You are the master shit talker. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm also backing it up. You're not wrong. I do talk a lot of shit, but I also back it up. You are 100% accurate. But
you have the most championships, but you haven't played against us.
What am I supposed to be afraid of? The 2 guys that came to me for fantasy advice all last season?
Was new to the game. I didn't need advice. I just saw another aspect. That's the only thing kissing you back because your woman works. But I understand.
Just don't even kiss me back.
Jackass.
Wow. So shiny. I'm just gonna, instead of you guys getting to see me, you're just gonna.
Oh yeah, Brian, we're gonna be creating our own belt soon. Spoiler alert, Glick already priced it, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and bring out my maximum overdrive championship for this.
You don't fucking stop. It was a terrible goddamn movie.
Maximum overdrive championship.
No, I was going to make the Nonsensical Nonsense championship belt.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk shit, but I think it would be really cool to have a podcast championship belt.
Do it.
Then I'll be like Roman Reigns. I got all the gold. We the one.
Because when I make my own, you're gonna have problems. I'm gonna warn you now.
Why am I gonna have problems, Tony?
Because
I'm still promoting the show.
Championship is by the time I'm through.
All I'm doing is promoting the show and supporting the show. I'm making a Nonsensical Nonsense Championship belt. We can get one too. We can get Nonsensical Nonsense Tag Team Championship belts.
Amanda, we got you. Definitely Wednesday. I want to incorporate how we're gonna do things. We got to see if you can set everything up on that app, because I've never set up a league before.
Yeah, I'll set it up. I'll just need emails or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'll log back in and I'll get it all set up and stuff like that. And like I said,
because I'm still running my Dynasty League. I don't know if I made Annie up on that one, but I'm gonna run it, and then we'll do this one for free, which would be cool. And everybody can come in and have their input and have their picks, have their predictions, have their numbers and all of that. Brian, go ahead and finish work, man. I just want to bring you in on this. So set up for safe Thursday night, all right?
All right, I'll call you when I clock out.
All right, dude.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah, we won't.
Don't know. I wanted Brian to be up here on the show with us, but his work schedule doesn't allow it. But I got him. Me and him were talking about this last year. We want to set up a virtual league on Haps before Haps went down, but it's not going to be dead because.
That's what I said. That's why I said if you guys still wanted to do like your league and make it a little bit more accessible for
you. So you got the.
Oh no, I'll still be in your league, but I'm talking about if you guys wanted to do a separate show outside of what. But that's why I said I brought it up to you because I think that'd be a really cool idea. I just don't want to take on the role of hosting another show right now. I will down the road because there are a couple things I want to do.
I'm gonna host it because you already got this 3 times a week. Brian's work schedule is off. If I can get Nancy will probably pop up with me every now and then. I know Ted's busy, and Amanda, I'll leave the door open for you to come up as well as a co-host if you're able to be there as frequently as I am. But anytime the original 6, I want there in the first place. Yeah. If anybody else can come afterwards.
Yeah, and then we can add more people to the league. But don't let me forget, and I keep forgetting, but I do want to send you login information for our StreamYard. And then you can log in.
I'll be fucking with y'all on that, but I ain't
yeah. You can log in like Jeff does, and Jeff does
things. I just want to. There's some things I wanted to add.
I'm going to change the password and not let Jeff log in anymore. But no, there are a couple changes I want to make, but I'll do that off the air, and I'll talk to you guys off the air. We don't got to talk about behind the scenes shit on the show. We'll talk about it off the show. Nothing bad. I think it's just going to be. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be more of a consistency thing for us for the show. Saturdays are going to be the most affected by it. But
that's
that also
for the show to me. That's the biggest day for the show. For me.
But that's also going to open up opportunities to, outside of the Thursday night game. But that'll open up opportunities for the fantasy show. Sure. If it still wanted to go down on Thursday night or Saturday night, it'll open up an opportunity for a Saturday night show.
We could leave it on Wednesday, since we're under your umbrella. We do kind of go random. I know you keep an agenda. We tend to drift every now and then, but instead of creating ideas, we can definitely run.
Well, the only thing I don't want to run in the middle of this podcast doing fantasy talk because Jeff doesn't do sports. He doesn't know sports. So I know every once in a while
a lot of what we're talking.
So but he gets bored like I get bored like Saturday night when
you two fuckers or something else.
But trust me, I got things.
You ought to see the look on my face most episodes and I get bored with the shit that you two talk about. Give me the fucking floor.
I try to keep it light, entertaining, fun, and I try to stay away from that.
And I understand you having a format and you having an aspect, but I'll never forget when you were
format. I was going to bring What the Fuck News back tonight.
We still got time, goddamn it.
Don't worry about it. We'll bring it back Monday.
We got 30 fucking minutes.
We're still talking. I'm not gonna pull an e-break.
That's why right there. I'm
not gonna pull an e-break.
We're gonna postpone it to Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Saturday. So what's the fuck news? Let's get the intro.
No, that's the thing about being a great host. You don't pull the e-break on a good conversation. Just to force you don't force
talking into the ground. We're done. What the fuck?
You don't force stuff.
What the fuck news? What the fuck news?
What the fuck, Tony? You don't force stuff. You don't force stuff just to get it in there. You just let the news. What the fuck news is, I'm creating an empire. The nonsensical
universe.
The nonsense.
You like that, don't you?
I do like that.
I told you need me. I gotta get a refill. Hold on.
I've been trying to find a way to disagree with you tonight, but
You can't. I lied. I had to show you why I was a champ. You need ideas.
I don't need ideas. Trust me.
You need ideas.
I got ideas for days. Trust me on that one. I got ideas for days. I just got to start making money off this.
The one time in life, my job is complete.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah! I got ideas for days. That's the downfall. I just gotta start making money off this so that the ideas can come to fruition.
The money aspect, I'm with you, but you can't even worry about it for real. Always remember. Don't mute my mic. I know what you do. That's why I stopped it.
That's my beer. Yeah. I'm not going to mute your mic. That's okay. We all know.
I think it'll be.
Oh hell yeah! You hear that, Tom Brady? That's your ass I'm coming for. Hashtag Brady fears Glick. I'm gonna start calling him out on TikTok. You handsome son of a bitch. He's a beautiful man. Just do it. What? Because he's white.
I will respect.
Because he's not a machichi.
I don't do men. Sorry. For any confusion out there, let me be clear. Let me describe my sex life to you. Very simple. No men,
non-existent.
No minors, no animals. Plain and simple.
Non-existent.
Bullshit. You
got me fucked up.
Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up.
I love the background singers in that video. They just look so unthrilled. That was a special little gem that I stumbled upon.
I found a couple up there actually. I'm just saving.
Send them to me. Actually,
no, motherfucker self. You're not gonna have all the goddamn credit and ideas. Goddamn.
I'm not gonna give you.
I ain't even got control yet. Fuck you, Busted Rubber. What's happening?
First, oh, that's my boy Hoss. What's going on?
What's up, man? How you living?
First of all, Tony D, I think you should know better than anybody. I give everybody and anybody the credit that is deserved. Oh, you got Forrest Whitaker.
Leave Forrest alone, goddammit.
I love Forrest Whitaker. What the hell did I just see that he was in it? He had me dying. I couldn't get past the eye.
I forgot he was in Bloodsport with Van Damme.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Thank you.
He was in Bloodsport with Van Damme.
Yes, he was. I ain't wrong. That goddamn eye, as he's gotten older, has gotten crazier and crazier.
Talk about on the Breakfast Club. It really is a disease that he has. And
Man, Forrest Whitaker's the man. Hey, no disrespect.
I loved him in Panic Room.
The champ has been.
The champion. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Cheers to you and yours. Much respect to any and all who acknowledge greatness when they see it.
The champ has a
humble champion, but every now and then you got to shut down those.
The champ has a fake belt. The champ
new belt
has the belt.
When the new belt comes, y'all best be ready because I'm gonna put some shit up here motherfuckers ain't gonna believe.
The greatest championship belt of all time, right here. The Smoking Skull. Nobody did it better. John Cena. I'm gonna spin my belt. Nah, that's where it's at. Goddamn. Oh hell yeah!
You gonna You gonna make me design my shit now, goddamn it!
I'm telling you, I'm not making a belt just to talk shit. I'm making a belt because I think it would be so cool to have a Nonsensical Nonsense podcast championship belt with our logo.
Oh, you're right. It's correct. You are correct.
I think that would be so badass. But you know, I wear this hat every day. I started wearing it at work. My bosses are like, "Oh, that's a cool hat." They're like, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay if I wear it." They're like, "Yeah, you can wear it at work if you want."
It's your show. Hell yeah. What are they gonna tell you?
Hands down, Smoking Skull. So who's the real champ? Hoss. say it,
These
and then call me
nuts.
daddy afterwards.
Negative. Was it custom shops when it was on Facebook? Where you
Oh no, go to Amazon. Go to Amazon, it's cheaper.
Amazon's cheaper.
Yeah, custom shops. I know what custom. Actually, there is a young lady and her husband on TikTok that make belts, and I'm actually going to ask them how much their belts are. They make replica belts, but they also make custom made belts, and I'm going to ask them. They started following us a week or two back.
If they're following us, absolutely. Yes. I need to talk to them.
So I want to ask them how much their belts are because if I could go through them as opposed to Amazon, I will, because they make some really clean looking belts, some nice looking belts, and I would much rather support a local or local/small business as opposed to.
And let me
Amazon.
jump in on that. I will support whoever supports us with as much as possible. So if they're in the game, definitely.
So and they make the replica belts that are amazing. They make custom belts. So actually, I do need to reach out to them and ask them how much it would cost to get a belt made, because I think that would be really not a little bit. Like I said, it's not so much. Of course, I'm going to talk shit, and of course, I'm going to be me, but it's not so much about that. I just think that it would be really cool because I am a wrestling fan, and we do this podcast. I think it would be awesome to have a Nonsensical Nonsense championship belt with our logo on it, with the two beer mugs, cheers, and I think that would be so badass to do.
It would be.
Mm-hmm. We fired him.
No, we didn't.
On Mondays. just Mondays. He's fired on Mondays. No. Like I said, the fantasy meltdown on here would be cool. In all honesty, that would be the first show under our umbrella. And I've talked to a couple other people. A buddy of mine, his girlfriend wants to do a true crime show, and I told her, if you want to do a true crime show, find you a co-host. I'll pop in from time to time if you want me to. But it would be your show, and we could set you up on here, and you'd be under our umbrella, and she's down. Cam's girlfriend. I won't say a buddy of mine. I'll say Cam.
Cam's been big behind the scenes. Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm trying to get fired. It's kind of hard to fire the voice, the face, and the I don't know how many hats I wear. I'm the voice, I'm the face, I'm the executive producer, I'm the director, I'm the creator.
They're going to give you that. You're the Vince McMahon.
You're making it really hard to argue with you tonight, Tony, just so you know.
I'm here all day.
Your fantasy draft, I wanted to be mad at you. You're like, I can't.
I know how to pique your interest.
Yeah.
So what we got to do, if we make our own belt, I was just looking at how to design it, and I can't see how you can make your own designs.
Mm-hmm. Amazon, if you go to the custom belts, you can play with it a little bit. You can pick your style, the belt color, if you want bronze, gold, or silver. I was going to go with a black belt with silver instead of gold because I think the black and silver look really cool together, especially with our logo.
Yes.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, him and his wife had asked, and when I told them, actually, because they had asked about...
Do you know the name of this site?
What site?
For the people that make their own belts.
Oh, no. But no, I don't know right off the top of my head, but I'll send you their TikTok page when we get done tonight. But a buddy of mine, him and his wife, he reached out and they're like, oh man, we loved when you did the deep dives and stuff like that. Could you do more paranormal? Could you do more urban legends? Which actually I'm doing research because I am, maybe not this week, but next week, going to roll into urban legends.
Right.
But talking to him and his wife, because they're fans of the show and stuff like that, him and his wife said that they would be maybe interested in doing a paranormal show.
Go with it.
And I said, well, if you guys want to do it, let me know. I'll set you up and we can rock it out on here. And I just, like I said, before I start taking on too much, putting too much on my plate, and doing all this, that, and the other thing, because I'm not going to host every show. I'm not going to be on every show.
Not being funny, you do have a lot under your belt. This is true.
Yeah, no, I would like to be making money before I start.
Of course,
shit under my, adding more hats to my collection, if you will. So, I was like, hey, all that's on hold. Pump the brakes. If you guys are really interested in it and you really want to do it, just hold the phone and let me know, because that is an avenue that I would love to go down with the paranormal. Unfortunately, much like movies, like I was saying Saturday night, and I didn't want to come across like a dickhead, it's an oversaturated market. So,
talking about the paranormal stuff.
There's a lot of paranormal. There's a lot of true crime. There's a lot of movies.
There's a ton
stuff like that. Podcast. So you really have to come with something. You don't have to be 100% original, but you got to bring something a little bit different to the table. Hence the reason why we do this podcast, Nonsensical Nonsense, like we do. I feel like it's a lot different than anything that's out there. It's not scripted. It's not planned. It just happens. So,
that's the best way to do a show. People don't want to see a format. Mm-hmm. They just want to see the random conversation between folks. All these belts are $200 damn.
Where at? I'll be right back.
I'm flipping channel. I'm flipping what you call it?
Amazon
websites. Buster Roma, Bigfoot, Loch Monster. Yeah, we talked about those two already. You got the urban legends. Also did a couple of conspiracies myself. Design your own championship belt. How much is this damn thing going to cost? I think I need to get the It's gonna be trouble. Okay, these things cost a grip. Holy shit. Yeah, I might wait on the belt. I might just wait on the damn belt. Good God have mercy. These things cost a grip.
Oh, smokes. Hollis, a little behind the scenes for anybody listening. After Urban Legends, I'm kind of starting to lead us down the road of spooky season. Bigfoot, Loch Ness monsters are cryptids. Again, when I say I got a lot on my plate, not only am I researching urban legends and I'm looking up urban legends, but I'm also looking at cryptids as well. Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, chupacabra, Wendigo, or however you want to say it. Those are cryptids. The frog man, the lizard man, stuff like that. That's another thing I'm researching and doing at the same time. I don't have to do a lot of research because I already know them. It's in my wheelhouse. To roll into after Urban Legends, roll into that, and then as we get into the end of September or early October, going to get into the paranormal. We're going to get into the ghosts and the spooky legends, stuff like that. Those are the deep dives that I'm going to be doing on Wednesdays and whatnot. We did actually talk about the Mandela effect. What was that? Last Saturday? Saturday before?
Well, 2-3 episodes ago, yeah, he brought it up. I didn't look into it entirely, but yes.
Jeff actually looked it up, or Jeff brought it up. So the gerbils are running like crazy in my head right now. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of stuff that I'm dabbling.
Busted Rubber, in case you didn't know, also jumped on some of these man-made lakes and how they were formed. Not too long ago, it was a little. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it was a very pro-black broadcast that I did. I probably turned some heads, or I shocked a few people. They didn't know.
Anti-white.
Oh yeah, you can say that.
I don't know what it was. He also told the listeners to look it up themselves and didn't want to do it on the show, even though I told.
But what he didn't talk about with the StreamYard broadcast I did when I sent it out there, and I shared it to everybody.
I didn't see it. That's the thing. I don't get the notifications when you go on StreamYard.
It's on my Twitter. No, I know you don't, but I put it on my Twitter, put it on my Facebook, put it on my airtime.
I mean, if I see you on Twitch or I see you on Instagram or if I see you on Twitter or whatever, I try to jump. I don't know what's going on with Twitter Spaces, and I think it's on my end. But when I come into the Twitter Spaces,
on the computer, it won't show you. On your phone, it will.
No. When I come in on my phone, it like I'm listening and
it glitches.
It glitches out and it kicks me out, and I got to come back in. So it's like So it just gets aggravating and frustrating as hell. But
yeah. But yeah, I did a broadcast on that, and I probably struck a few nerves, but I didn't give a fuck. Based on the story on that, George Stinney Jr., Emmett Till, I addressed the Moses Ingram issue. I addressed the Brittany Griner issue. Bring her ass the fuck home, y'all. Please cut the bullshit.
Bring her ass the fuck there.
Bring her home. Fuck that.
Why?
Because I think it's a minute crime.
We got a couple more minutes.
6 months.
She broke her crime. She broke the rules. She broke the rules. She
broke the law.
And why all of a sudden, just because you're a WNBA player, you're barely
No. Let's get off of that. Look at the crime specifically itself. Does she really have to do this much time for that?
It doesn't matter. There was a kid in fucking Taiwan that littered and got fucking caned.
That was 20-something years ago. I remember that.
I don't care. He still did the crime, and he took his punishment.
Yeah, but that was a severe punishment.
Now all of a sudden, because she got in trouble in another country, she needs America to come save her when she was anti-American.
A severe punishment as well.
Yes, and now she's not even facing. She's facing jail time. She broke the law, and now all of a sudden, and this is an anti-American dipshit.
I ain't falling for that.
You're not.
No, honestly, because I didn't see all of that, but all I know was
she was 100% anti-American. She shit on our country. She shit on everything our country was about. She refused to stand or even come out for the national anthem, which I understand. If you want to take a knee for the national anthem, I don't agree with Colin Kaepernick because he's an idiot, but I agree with what they were trying to do. But
people were doing that before them.
But when you're anti-American like she was, and then you go to a different country that you have been into, you have gone there several years. You play in that Russian league year after year after year.
So she should have known what was telling me.
You know the rules. You know the laws. You broke the law. How minute or minor it was.
If she knew the
law, come crying. Don't come crying to our American government. The fuck if she didn't. She did, and her wife did.
Trying to bring her the fuck home.
And now you're going to fucking, okay, we'll let her free as long as you let a war criminal and a known terrorist.
I don't know about that part. I ain't going to do
it. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're trading her.
I know.
For a Russian war criminal and terrorist
situation.
Leave her there. You didn't give a fuck about this country until it benefited you. Leave you there. Pay for your crime. Pay for your crime.
Everybody who's over here who doesn't give a fuck about the country, y'all go over there and bring her the fuck home.
No, if you don't care about this country, get the fuck out. At the end of the day,
get the fuck out. Here, and all of you who were not standing for the national anthem in the 70s and 80s when I used to go to pro sports games and see people fucking doing it, y'all go the fuck over there and bring her
the movement. I understand for. I understand it.
I'm not speaking so much the movement. I'm just speaking about her crime.
But when you're anti, this is my thing. When you're anti-American. When you want to shit on everything that makes our country what our country is, I don't care if you're black, white, purple, green, gay, straight, transgender. I don't care. But if you want to shit on our country and for everything it is and everything that our country stands for, from Jump Street, you want to shit on that and do it publicly. And like I said, at the end of the day, you're a WNBA star. You're barely a fucking pro athlete. Calm the fuck down.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Yes.
They ball.
You could take the worst NBA player and he would smoke any WNBA player. I can't say that about soccer. Women's soccer are nasty. Women's volleyball, nasty.
Ball up on you. You ever played against a female basketball player? Even in now you.
I suck at basketball, and I played up against women basketball. I was a terrible basketball player, and the great female basketball players that I knew.
Give yourself an even match against a woman your size, your build, and ball against to see if you win.
That's a big bitch, first of all.
She's 6'9".
And yes, I would say that I would.
She's 6'8". She's 6'9".
But
that's not because when I was in college, we just play recreational. The women's team came over there one day to play with us. First of all, they got some skills. I'm not going to shit on women.
I'm not saying they don't got skills or anything like that.
I'm not going to.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing about the whole situation. And we're going to wrap the show up on this note.
Sure.
Tony and I. I'm not saying I'm going to say what I'm going to say and the show's over. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. And it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're an athlete, a movie star, news journalist, or anything like that. And speaking of news journalists, we have a news journalist. We have a news reporter in a Russian prison right now and has been there for years.
Who?
I can't think of his name. I don't know his name, but he has been there. He has been there, and he broke the law, and nobody made a big deal about it. But now because this, and I'm gonna say it how it is. This black lesbian athlete, because it's two of the loudest groups right now in our country, who has shit on our country repeatedly, publicly, and shit on America. Now because she broke the law, and there's no doubt in my mind, she knows what the law is. She
Is the news reporter American or Russian?
He's American, I believe.
Is it he?
I think so. Now all of a sudden we're up in arms? No, you broke the law. You know what the laws are. You know what the rules are. That's why I tell people, I don't care who you are or what you or anything. If you go to another country, before you go there, Tony, I'm telling you, I tell myself the same thing. And I don't mean this in any disrespect, but it is what it is. We are nobodies. We're nobody important, in the grand scheme of things. But if I leave this country and I go to another country,
Mark Fogel, that's his name.
I am going to make sure when I go to said country, I'm not going to break their laws or their rules.
I agree with that from when I was over at the military. They told us, you break the law, you're on your own. This is
okay, so yeah, and I've never been outside of America. I've never been outside of our country. So you have been, military guy.
You fuck around there long as you want to. That's your ass.
You're on your own. So why are we making such a big deal about it? I know the rule. I know the law was silly. I know the law is minute. I know she wasn't trafficking anything. But still, at the end of the day, my biggest thing is on a country that you have shit on publicly, and now when you're in trouble, you want to all of a sudden, and your wife is out there going, "Oh, Joe Biden, what are you doing? Bring her home. She's American." Shut up, bitch. You can go over there with her. You don't have to go to jail, but you can go to Russia and hang out until she gets free. That's just me. And it's not even a white or a black thing. That's just a pro-American thing. Because I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe in.
You have pro-Americans who shit on the way of life over here.
I don't care. I don't care what you think, whether you're left, right, liberal, conservative, independent. Our country was based off of beliefs and values that you can come and be anything you want, and nobody can stop you. And yes, have we had issues? Have we made mistakes? And I can speak, and I will speak on my Native American side. It's only a little bit. I'm only a quarter Native American, indigenous people. But whatever it is, I will speak on that. Yes. Have we made mistakes? Have we made wrongs? Or have we fucked up and hurt people and done people wrong? Yes. Some of us are still being done wrong to this day. Some of us are still losing our land. Some of us are still being persecuted by the color of our skin. Some of us are still being killed on the basic fact that we don't match a certain skin color. Yes, I agree. But at the end of the day, anybody can come to this country and you can be anything you fucking want. And nobody's telling you can't. There are people of every skin tone, every gender, whatever gender you decide to be, that can be and do anything you want and you can succeed. Is our country flawed? Yes. Are there people that want to make our country better? And people that want to be better?
People that want to make the country better.
Yes.
All genders, all races. Absolutely.
Is our government fucked up? Yes. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're fucking on. It doesn't matter if you're left, you're right, you're liberal, conservative, independent. It doesn't matter. They're all fucked up because somewhere down the line, our country was founded on the fact that our government and our officials worked for us. And somewhere down the line, they stopped working for us and they started working for themselves. And they started filling their fucking pockets. And yes, Donald Trump was the bad orange man, and he sent mean tweets. But God damn it, he was one of the first people in a long fucking time that worked, that was out for our country. And his bottom line was to take care of the American people. And it shows. You look at our economy. You look at our economy.
In his actions. They were invested in his actions.
It doesn't matter, but you look at our economy, you look at the American people, he put us first.
No,
we didn't have this bullshit with Russia. We didn't have this bullshit
with the United States first. He was very vocal in putting the United States first. That's one thing he said he was always going to do. I did see that.
And he was a little harsh. He was a little brash. And at the end of the day, he said a lot of things regardless of who you are or what you believe in. He said and did a lot of things that a lot of us want to say and do.
This is true.
And we need, I won't say somebody 100% like him, but we need somebody in office that's going to put America first.
You need somebody who doesn't owe.
Exactly.
For him, he was a staunch businessman. He was an international businessman. I believed in his international relations. I did believe in that because there's no way in the hell he didn't have the ties with those people with all of the business that he did, failing or not. He was out there. And that was a lot of the optimism behind his presidency. Whether you trusted him or not, we got to give him his credit.
He had ties. There's no doubt that he had ties. But also at the same time, Putin stood down line and said, I'm going to fucking slap Ukraine in the mouth. And Trump said, I wish the fuck you would.
There you go.
And Putin didn't. Biden got into office. I don't want to make this a Trump versus Biden or a left versus right thing. No, Biden got into office. Putin said, watch this. Hold my beer.
That's how it looks.
And Biden didn't do a goddamn thing.
That's how it looks.
So.
That's how it looks.
Yes, there are issues in our country. You'd be an absolute fucking idiot and an absolute fucking fool to think there wasn't.
To think otherwise, agreed.
There are racial issues in our country.
Tons
but I also believe that a lot of the reason, because there's a lot more people in this country. Tony D, I think you're one of them, despite some of the things that you say or do, and I know that I'm one of them that would love to see equality. I want to see 100% equality. I don't want equality.
We always want equality. We just haven't. And I will tell you this as a black man, we have not received it. We have not. Now, you may not see it from my aspect. Let me tell you from my aspect. We do get denied from different accreditations, different standards, different rules, different laws, different aspects than a lot of white people. I'm telling you, as a black man, I fucking see it. I understand people that do not. Let me tell you, I will give you testimony. One of the biggest emphasis I have on video conferencing is testimonies. Now, when you demand proof, you damn near insult because I don't require proof for a lot of the shit that you say. I can take it for what it is, realize it's going on, and live my life how I'm supposed to.
I mean, you can look up what I say, though. I mean, I'm not going to ever say.
You can look up what I say, but everybody's like, no, this is just this. No. You need to understand what the motherfucker's going through over what's documented.
I also think that a lot of the quote-unquote double standards, if you will, for race, it's not necessarily a race double standard. It's a class.
Some of it is.
I know. Some of it is. I'm not going to say that.
I got the class, Paul.
I understand it's a class because everybody wants to scream and shout white privilege, white privilege. I have never personally, and I know, and I can vouch for a lot of people I know in my life. A lot of people never experienced white privilege in my entire life.
And from your aspect, people will see it as a class issue. I got you with that.
But I grew up dirt ass fucking poor, white collar. I mean, and that's the thing. I've been in the same fucking hoods. I lived in the same quote unquote hoods, quote unquote ghettos, where I was the outcast because I was white.
Yes, that happens. We know this. Yes.
I've fought and I've clawed for everything I have in my life. Nothing was given to me. I didn't get to go to college.
What they don't know, and a bunch of fuckers out there need to listen. Because
I didn't go to college.
Struggle out there. That's where the class aspect comes in. He was 100% correct.
I didn't get to go to college because of the color of my skin. I didn't. I've been passed up on jobs because companies could hire.
Somebody who would require less money.
Not only that, but and this is going to sound harsh, and I don't mean for it to sound harsh. I can't think of the word.
Speak your experience.
But I have not been hired by companies because they could hire, and I was actually told this by one company. Why would I hire you and pay you what you deserve when I can hire 10 Mexicans and pay them what I could pay you?
That's what I was going to go to. That's what they do.
I've also been told by companies that, and this is a shitty thing, and on both sides of the fence, this is an absolutely shitty ass fucking thing to hear. I don't care if you're white or black. I've also been told by companies, we can't hire you because we haven't met our black quota.
Yeah, that's written.
You are more than qualified for the job, but we have to hire this guy. He's underqualified. He can't do the job that you can do, and it's bullshit. At the end of the day, I don't care. And if it was a black man that didn't get a job that he was qualified for because they had to meet a quota, it's bullshit. And that's true. It absolutely happens. It has happened to me. It happened to Joe. She applied for a teaching job. Teaching engineering drafting at the vocational school that I graduated from, and they hired a black gentleman, which he was awesome. The dude was awesome. The guy was cool as shit, but they needed that representation in the school.
They were going to get sued if they didn't meet the standards. Yep.
And he was terribly underqualified for the position. So, I mean, yes, our country is absolutely flawed. It's absolutely has issues, but a lot of the issues, instead of buying into what you're being fed on the news and stuff like that, look at where the real problem is. And the real problem are these assholes in office. This fucking bitch Nancy Pelosi's been in office for 300 years. We need term limits. We need term limits on our House.
Term limits are in place. It's the re-election. The re-election is a factor.
Yeah, but we need term limits. We need to get them out.
You got to now re-elect.
And they play us against each other at the end of the day, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want to think it or not. I'm gonna tell you, as a man, as a white man that has fought and clawed, and I have nothing. I live in an apartment that is smaller than my garage I used to have when I lived in South Carolina. And I still bust my ass every day. And I try to provide a life for my kids so they don't have to live or deal with what I went through when I grew up.
We got to make sure they're going to go through what we went through.
There's nothing given to me. I bust my ass for everything I do. Tony D, you bust your ass for you're a veteran. You've busted your ass for everything you have. Am I correct? Did you have anything given to you in life? I'm assuming you went to college because you were in the military.
I went to college, but I didn't graduate. I went to college for the military.
Exactly.
I went before the military. I can kill a lot of that stereotype to a lot of people join the military just to go to college. This is true.
But okay, so you went before you went into the military, but did you get financial aid and special grants and stuff like that? Because
you'll get a couple, but it won't be enough for tuition.
No, it's not. Well, you can't get shit for. Have you seen the tuition for these goddamn colleges? That's insane. But unfortunately, everybody wants free college tuition. And what they don't understand is, well, we can give you free college tuition, but those of us who bust our ass and work every day.
No. Other countries have free college. We're like one of the few countries that charge. That's why it's such a travesty.
Yeah, but look at the difference.
Education is supposed to be free. Why are they making you pay for it?
Why not?
That's the behind it. Other countries got it for free.
Well, be better. You can go to school for free. I don't know. I never wanted to go to college. That's just me. I'm not the college type. I know I'd be bored to death.
Everybody's a college type.
Bored to death. I'm not. I do want to. I've looked into college courses now, but
Dad,
that's just to.
can we have a snack?
Yeah, that's just to. It's not even 100. Well, I guess it is. It's not even 100% for me. Actually, I'm looking at college courses to better this podcast and what I do and how I do it and everything like that. So I guess at the end of the day, it is kind of about about me, but at the same time, it's more about the podcast.
You go to college, it is about yourself. Let's just stop the bullshit. And there's no disrespect in that.
No.
Because you go there, you go to college to make more money when you grow up.
But it's all coming out of my pocket. So you guys support this podcast and give us some money.
Yeah, we have 2 hours. Let's go. 2 hours.
So, but no, we are at the 2 hour mark. Wow, I got really serious at the end of the show, Tony. I kind of let go of some shit I've been holding on to. My bad. I apologize. I hope you don't think of me any differently. No, it's still fuck you, Click. Oof, that was nice. You started it though. We don't get political on here a whole lot, but you still cannot figure out. No, stop.
The camera's backwards, damn it. The camera's backwards.
You still can't figure it out. Look, it's that easy, Tony. Look. Yeah, there you go. No, we are gonna wrap the show up. Wow, that was something else. We do appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, there are some things coming. There are some things in the works. There are some stuff. Man, there are some things coming down the pipe. We're obviously just 2 days away from football, so be on the lookout for the Fantasy Meltdown show hosted by Tony D with Brian and myself from here and there from time to time. If you guys are not already, go ahead and check us on all social media. Nonsensical Nonsense, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget you can join us live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday night right here on YouTube and Twitch. And if you don't want to listen to us live, don't worry. Don't worry. We got you covered. We got you. You can listen to us on Spotify and basically anywhere you listen to podcasts at. If there's a platform that has podcasts on it, I'd be willing to bet we're there. So give us a listen, give us a like, and if you guys would be so kind, help us grow. Give us a share. Let other people know about us. Tell other people about us. All that fun jazz. Easiest way to let us know or let other people know is to hit that share button. Hit that follow button. All that jazz. You can also email us if you'd like to at nonsensicalnonsensepodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about the merch store. If you want to rock your very own nonsensical nonsense gear, we got some stuff up on teespring.com/nonsensical nonsense podcast. You can get you some gear. I am working on a local dealer, or maybe I'll break down and amongst all the other things I do, maybe I'll break down and buy me a printer, or a screen printer, or some dumb shit, and I'll just start making shirts. And I'll have a whole bunch of fucking dumbass nonsensical nonsense t-shirts in my house, in my apartment, that I have no room for. But I'll have them for you guys, and it'll be a whole hell of a lot cheaper. I promise you that. But in the meantime, check out teespring.com/nonsensical nonsense podcast. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, got a little nonsensical nonsense for your ear holes. Oh, let's go with this. We got a little Blacktop Mojo live studio session of Why.
Well, I see your silhouette against a red sunset. The wind blows through my hands. It leads me to the west. Well, I've drifted many days, but still I'm left wondering, will I ever find my way? And I long for that day. Well, I've walked through this land, but I don't understand I look up to the sky, still I see no sign. I bow my head and pray, is anyone listening? And will I ever find my way? And I long for that day, and I long for that day. And what lies on the other side, between the truth and lies? And deep down we wanna know why we live to die. We die. And I long for that day, and I long for that day.
There ain't nothing wrong with that song. I like that.
I love that song. It's a fantastic song. And I like that studio session. This is Blacktop Mojo. For those of you guys who don't know, check them out on all social media and wherever you stream music. Words are hard. That was Blacktop Mojo. Check them out wherever you stream music and on all social media at Blacktop Mojo. Go show the guys some love. Let them know we sent you. We'd greatly appreciate that. And as I said, check us out on all social media. Nonsensical Nonsense, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yes, we are there. Now, granted, on the TikTok page, you get to see this amazing beard, because Tony and Jeff won't make videos on our page. But either way, we're still there. And don't forget, you can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday night right here on YouTube and Twitch. We're live. We're full effect. Hang out in the chatters box. Shoot the shit with us. Drop your comments. All that fun jazz. And if you don't want to listen to us live, don't worry about that. You can listen to us on Spotify and everywhere you listen to podcasts all at Nonsensical Nonsense. Give us a follow. Give us a like. And if you guys be so kind, help us grow. Share. Tell a friend. Hit that little share button on all social media. Let everybody else know about us. We like to get on here. We have fun. We do our thing. And if you don't want to listen to us live, I already said that. And I also said that you can find us on... No, I did not say, but you can find us on Spotify and everywhere you listen to podcasts at. I'm a little confused. Tony's not helping better than he's just in his vape making weird faces at me. I feel like Tony's going to text me after the show and be like, you know what, I can't do this show with you anymore. With your crack ass. We do have an email at nonsensicalnonsenspodcast@gmail.com or in the merch store at teespring.com/nonsensical nonsense podcast. We do appreciate y'all listening. We'll see you Wednesday night with a brand new episode. Tony D. As Jeffrey would say.
Motherfucker. And as Jeff would say,
deuces. And with that being said, we'll see you Wednesday night. Same nonsensical channel, same nonsensical time. Goodbye, motherfucker.
hit the button.
Hit the button. The button's thinking, Tony.